This is KGW News at noon.
And happening at the top of our noon hour, a barge is stuck on the sand at McGuire Island, which is out toward the Fairview area. What you're seeing here is a live picture from Sky 8, which is up over the scene, on the way rather to the scene. For context here, McGuire Island is just off the eastern edge of Government Island out near Chinook Landing. Now, authorities say the barge is taking on water. There's a lot we don't know about the circumstances here, like what the barge is carrying or where it came from or how it's impeding water traffic here. But again, the spot where this is happening is McGuire Island. We do know a private tow company is working to get the barge out. We will keep you posted on what happens next. Well, welcome here to the news at noon. I'm Ashley Korslin. Portland police are looking for any drivers who may have been hit by BBs on I-405 this week. Investigators say a man was shooting a BB gun at vehicles on the interstate. Police got several calls on Tuesday afternoon in the area between Southwest Columbia and the Fremont Bridge. Officers searched a homeless camp and recovered a pellet rifle, BBs, and a scope in a tent. They also arrested a suspect. Drivers reported cracked windows and dents, but police say this could have been much worse.
Certainly the shock and surprise of something like that happening to you can certainly cause a crash. And then not to mention the expense related to the damage caused. So, this is an incredibly dangerous activity, and we're really relieved that no one was injured.
Police are asking anyone who saw what happened or possibly had damage to their car to call them. All lanes on I-205 are back open in southeast Portland after Clackamas County deputies shot a man who led them on a car chase. The interstate was closed for hours overnight near the I-84 interchange. Here's what we know so far about this shooting. Investigators say it started just before 11 last night. A driver led Clackamas County deputies on a chase on northbound 205. Deputies then called Portland police for help. The driver then crashed and ran into the southbound lanes of I-205. We don't know exactly what happened next, but ultimately Clackamas County deputies shot and killed the person. Vancouver police arrested a man accused of driving into several cars and homes in the Cascade Park neighborhood on Monday. Police say he was driving erratically, swerving all over the place and almost running into people. He eventually slammed through a retaining wall and crashed into two homes. The man is now in the Clark County Jail facing several charges, including DUI and hit and run. There will be stepped-up security in Salem at the Oregon State Capitol when the legislative session begins next Tuesday. Officials want to avoid a repeat of 2020 when protesters forced their way into the Capitol. New protocols are in place as of today. Those changes include metal detectors and X-ray machines at both ends of the building. The legislature will also hire more security guards. Oregon joins 33 other states around the country using metal detectors and X-ray machines at Capitol entrances. Well, 2 years into the pandemic, we still don't have solid data showing whether more people have become homeless in Portland. But that will soon change. More than 150 volunteers are conducting a census across Multnomah County. They are counting people living on the streets and in shelters. It's called the Point in Time Count. The city and county organize it, but it's part of a federal mandate. Multnomah County was supposed to count its homeless population last year, but COVID concerns postponed that. So we haven't had new numbers since 2019. People living on the streets, though, say it's clear that more people have become homeless.
More people are living out in tents now that have come accustomed to it and learn to deal with it than what it was before. So when you get used to something or you learn to abide by it, you stay.
In 2019, this count found 4,015 people in Multnomah County experiencing homelessness. About 2,000 were unsheltered or on the streets. At the time, that was a record high. Officials expect to release these new numbers this summer. Well, whether it's the homeless crisis, vandalism, or the pandemic, or just some other issue, a lot of people are avoiding downtown Portland altogether. That's what local business leaders are telling us. Catherine Cook shows us how things are looking now and what some hope could finally turn it around.
Taking a walk with my baby, he's awake now. Say hi, guys.
Gregory Steinlein may not realize it, but he is exactly what the downtown Portland business community is wishing for the most right now: foot traffic. Gregory loves getting out here.
If you're in a certain area, it's nice and it's calm and it's cool and collective, and certain areas are a little bit different, should I say, but for the most part, I like it.
Accepting that whole picture now is what business leaders believe will enable the good parts of downtown to eventually outweigh the frustrating. Things like street camping, garbage, and vandalism.
Downtown is ready to have you back. When people are ready, downtown is ready to reopen.
Vanessa Sturgeon is president and CEO of TMT Development, which owns several retail properties downtown. She says businesses are once again signing leases on vacant spaces and employees are returning to downtown offices. She also points to resources aimed at addressing the homeless crisis, like the $2.4 billion housing services measure.
That funding is starting to roll in. And it's time to forget the idea of small incremental change and start to really think big.
A lot of downtown businesses that are open are keeping their windows boarded up. For many would-be shoppers, that sends a mixed message. Is it safe? Why won't they take the boards down? The answer is complicated.
Visitor traffic is way down, and that hasn't come back. And until it does, until there are people with their eyes on the streets at all times and people aren't feeling as emboldened to commit acts of vandalism, then people are probably going to have to wait. And they've replaced those windows on their own dime.
There's a lot of work to do right now, and there's a lot of challenges down there.
Keith Jones is executive director for Friends of Green Loop, which installed this food cart pod on Southwest Ankeny last summer. It's the off-season now, and like many parts of downtown, foot traffic here is sparse. But Jones is looking ahead to the summer, when Portland will once again host in-person events like the Waterfront Blues Fest and Rose Festival parades. He hopes the city will help visitors know what downtown has to offer.
This is where we are, and with a 5-minute walk of here, these are all the hotels. We need to really improve the connectivity between these areas of activity that are going on right now. So people know, hey, 3 more blocks and you're going to hit this.
It's all important to Gregory Steinlein. He hopes to one day open a brick and mortar business downtown. For now, it's one step at a time to help everyone else.
We flourish, businesses will flourish.
In downtown Portland, Catherine Cook, KGW News.
Turning to the pandemic now, nearly 2/3 of the COVID cases in Multnomah County right now are breakthrough cases. That's when someone who is fully vaccinated gets COVID. Multnomah County health leaders say people who have also gotten a booster shot represent 13% of those breakthrough cases. But County Health Director Dr. Jennifer Vine says vaccines remain very important.
I am not surprised by those numbers. Based on what some of the early reports were about Omicron and how well it could get around those initial protections from vaccines. The really good news is that the vaccines continue to hold up against severe disease and hospitalizations.
Dr. Vine also expects about half of the county's population to be infected by Omicron by the end of February. That's how fast they say the virus is moving. Experts predict we are nearing a peak in this surge and case rates could begin dropping soon. A new app to detect earthquakes is now active in Washington. It's called MyShake. The app was designed by seismologists and engineers at the University of California, Berkeley. It gives users a warning seconds before an earthquake starts. Now, we should point out that the state's Shake Alert early warning system is still activated. That system is not an app. Those alerts just automatically go right to your phone. The MyShake app, though, is an extra precaution to that, so you can download it if you like through your phone's app store. We want to send things over to Chris McGinnis. And Chris, another very cold start today, but we have some beautiful sunshine that kind of happened late this morning.
Yeah, recovering nicely after the cold start. And actually this marks our 5th consecutive morning where we woke up to temperatures below freezing across the Portland metro area. In fact, we got all the way down to 28. Not the coldest morning of this latest stretch of cold, but still cold enough, right? Hillsborough and Scappoose woke up to 24. Same story in Aurora. And the big picture statewide, temperatures over across the Cascades this morning were in the lower teens in some cases. But as Ashley mentioned, bright sunshine out there. Whatever little bit of patchy fog that we had in some areas less this morning than in recent mornings, has pretty much burned off. And we've got a great view of the Cascade Peaks, Mount St. Helens there, Mount Adams off in the distance there, across the Washington Cascades as well. And we'll pivot that around later and show you Mount Hood. But it is glowing in the bright sunshine. 46, last check at PDX now. Again, a nice recovery from this morning. And even across eastern Oregon, we have thawed out a bit after that cold start. Baker City already up into the mid-20s. You'll probably stay there for afternoon highs out in Baker City. But Futurecast likes the Willamette Valley, maybe getting up to near 50 later this afternoon. I've got us about 48 to 50, so close enough. We'll take it. We'll get a look ahead to your weekend forecast in the next 7 days, which do promise some changes, a few, in just a few minutes.
Okay, well, I'm banking on some sunshine, Chris. Thanks.